Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It's the West Ham Irons channel. It's a special show, and it's a topic that's just. It only came. This topic was only came to limelight this morning or last night, and so yeah, I watched the interview podcast. Call it what you want. It's that Tippy Tappy Football thing. Tippy Tappy Football YouTube channel is quite good. I think it's. Actually, no, Mark Haley wasn't on this one. It was the Warburton one that I did a show on, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago. Very interesting insight into West Ham by Warburton, explaining and summarising that he'd come from investment banking career, made a lot of money, very clever guy, then got into football coaching, made good friends with David Moyes playing golf. I think he was in Dubai. They got houses next door to each other. But then he left West Ham because he felt that he wasn't sort of providing enough insight, or his advice was not really being listened to. He had no input, and then he just felt useless on the sidelines earning his money, and he went. So that put him in a really good limelight. I didn't think much of Warburton before that, and now I kind of do. And he explained, yeah, Moisey don't listen to fucking no one. That's why no one sticks around. That brings me into these two characters, Big Sam Allardyce, fondly remembered and named by the West Ham fans as Hippo Head, and Piercey, the Forest captain under Brian Clough, came from Coventry, played for England, many caps, and then towards the end of his career had a small stint at Newcastle, small stint at West Ham, managed Man City, then came to us as a coach with David Moyes. And then he surprisingly left. I think this interview's a load of shit. It's a load of shit. And it just tells you that footballers, managers are full of fucking shit. They're full of shit. It's a dishonest interview. It's not accurate. There's a lot of lies in there. It's politically correct. I fucking just know it is. I'm telling you it is. I mean, we're going to go through all the points that really piss me off. I mean, I like the lady who interviews them. She gets a lot of things out of these gentlemen, and Sam is a regular and things like that. So it's kind of really good. And yeah, a couple of things got on my nerves. I wanted to speak about it, really. I mean, let's start off with Stuart Pearce then, because I think Sam's perhaps the more interesting one, because he managed us. We go into that bit later on, really. So if we start off with Stuart Pearce, again, I don't care what you say. You just know, as a fan, which managers, which players really care for the club, bond with the club, recognise what the club is about, and get it. You see the old players, right? You see the old players. What the fuck was that? Where's that decoration come from? I don't know what happened there, mate. Let's try that again. Anyway, so I don't know what happened there, right? It's just something on the platform. You know, ex-players, managers, they leave, they bond with the fans, and you know who they are, and they get it. Examples are Carlton Cole, James Collins, Matthew Etherington, right? They get the club. They love their time at the club. They'll always remember the club. And more important than that, before they joined, they didn't really know much. They weren't a fan, but when they left West Ham, it left a mark on them. A bit of clear and blue blood in there, and they were fans thereafter. These managers, I'm not putting words in, this is what they've said. And I know by meeting these guys, you know when they're one of you. You know, Harewood, you get that thing. Anton Ferdinand, he's one of us. They get it, right? Some players, they play for your club, they manage your club. It's a professional job, they get paid, they fuck off. They were never bonded with the fans. They're never bonded with the club. They never got the club, and they fuck off. I think Stuart Pearce is one of them. Sam Allardyce is one of them. Chicharito was one of them. Top of my head. And I was controversially going to say something, but I'll keep that for later on. But yeah, these are these are some of them like that, really. And if we start off with Stuart Pearce, just taking a piss out of West Ham, both of them. He's like, I walked in, me and more. Both of them bigging Moisey up. Before I go into it, I always respected Sam, always will. always will be thankful for him to bring Nolan with him as captain. He dropped down a division. Sam dropped down a division, even though he wasn't working at that time. He brought us up. Great playoff. Built a good squad. Hard to be organised. Same as Moisey. Just that after a couple of years, it got a little boring, and the fans got bored of it, and he didn't get it. Respect for him, right? I kind of like him more than Moisey as a human being. Sam had more of a personality about him on the touchline. More about, I'd want to play for Sam. I'm not sure I'd want to play for Moyes. I don't know. It's just one of those. Moisey comes across as what they're saying. He's a workaholic, 12, 15 hours a day, pretty drab personality, quite negative, but very well organised, very passionate. So it's got that. Sam's just got that thing about him. He looks like a manager. He walks into a room, he's got that personality, hippo head, yeah. Can't miss him, right? So, but anyway, let's go back to Stuart Pearce before going on a random somewhere else. You know what I'm like. So he goes, me and Moisey are walking around sort of the ground and the training ground, and they've got some area in and around the ground on the board, and it tells you how many trophies West Ham have won in their history. And Piercy's like, oh yeah, I could only see 3 in their whole history, and wouldn't it be nice, Moisey, if you added 1 more? Well, to correct you, Mr. Pierce, it's not 3, right? It's 4. 3 FA Cups, 1 European Cup Winners' Cup trophy. I don't think they count the old Division 2 title as anything. We did win an FA Cup in pre-war, I think, if I can remember it right. So it's kind of 4 and 5 now, so it wasn't 3. So a bit of a mistake on that side of things. And then she asked him, she goes, because what Pierce... See, when you lie, you're going to get caught. It's like watching a police interview, right? So before I come into what she asks, because she's very good at asking these questions, she's the same to Warburton. She brings them on gently, then she goes for the killer, and I love that, trying to get the truth. And they more or less feel, she gets them comfortable to get the truth out, right? And she just says, what are you doing with your life, and la 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 la. And he's like, he goes on doing different things, doing speeches at companies, went to, was it Bhutan, the Gurkha army, gave him some motivational exercise and training and everything he's learned, because he's largely a captain and a leader material. And then she said, yeah, what about football? And he goes, yeah, if the right job's out there, oh, I'd love to go back into it, any position, assistant manager, coach. Oh, I'd love to do it. Right, that's when he fell into it, right? And then she goes, what about West Ham then? Like, why did you leave? And he said, oh, it's too many hours under Moisey. He makes you work 10, 15 hours, 7 days a week. Live too far, I had to drive down, right? Right, Mr. Pierce, driving so many hours. When you are a footballer or a manager or a coach, you've got enough financial ability to rent a house nearby, mate. So it's your fault if you had to drive 3, 4, 5 hours to get there. I don't know where you live, probably Nottingham, I don't know, right? I don't know what's Nottingham, 4 hours, I don't know, 3, 4 hours, right? So that's your fault if that's an excuse, right? And you were a coach for a number of, more than a year anyway, right? So more than a year means it makes sense to fucking buy a house nearby, right? It's not an excuse, right? Footballers are known to be moving around, and they don't fucking drive 4 hours every day for training. They buy a house near the football ground, right? And you yourself know, even being as a manager, as a footballer, there's a lot of hours involved. The footballers get away with it. They finish at 1, 2 o'clock, and then they used to go. I don't know if that's still the case. Whereas as coaches, you got to look at the opposition, the fixtures coming up, tactics. Think about the laying down the training for the next day. Speak to the manager. It's lots of things you have to do as a group, and they're pretty big teams these days, the managers and the coaches, right? And he gives it all that excuse, yeah. And then so that's a kind of a lie caught where if he'd left West Ham, he should have said, I've had enough of football and I just want to spend time with my family. I've had it. But no, you left football because of Moisey, mate. Because of the way we were playing and things like that. It's all talking bullshit, mate. They give you the truth in drabs like Moisey. He goes, Moisey's negative. He works too hard. It's hard to make him laugh and chuckle. He's so serious about everything. And things like that, mate. So the truth is you didn't want to work with him long term because he's drab. He plays the same shit football, same fucking tactics. It's like that guy who went over to England as number 2 Nevin, isn't it? One of the coaches. Why would you leave West Ham as a coach for a coach? You only leave as a coach if you get sacked, or the manager gets sacked, the whole team gets sacked, or you go as a manager, you get promoted. These guys are leaving jobs on their own accord. What the fuck does that say? They're not being pushed out. They're leaving at their own accord. But they haven't got the balls to tell the truth, which is we don't want to work with Moyes. That's the truth. So he leaves West Ham, lying and pretending about travelling and working. Then they ask him, what about, oh, I'd love to get a football role tomorrow. Oh, if someone gave me a role tomorrow, I'd consider it. What the fuck does that mean then? And he ain't going to be near where you live, is it, the chances? There's clubs in London, South Coast, fucking everywhere, right? Chris Coleman, manager, can't get a job here. He's managing fucking Greece, Cyprus, fucking all over the place, right? So absolute bullshit. Then another thing I didn't like about Declan Rice, sorry about Stuart Pearce talking about Declan Rice, right? I remember the Declan Rice thing where, yeah, Chelsea more or less kicked him out. He came to us. I think Bilic, if I'm right, it might be Bilic or Moyes in his first team, gave him a bit of a role as a centre-back. Newcastle had a bad game, got dropped, came back. And then a couple of years, yeah, came on really well, bonded with West Ham fans, natural, superb player. And I think he got a pay rise about 2 times at least at the club. He got improved contracts, definitely at the club. I'm not that stupid, right? Because what Stuart Pearce is saying is that Declan Rice left at a great time for the fans, done a great service, and he's ambitious, and he easily could have signed lots of contracts in the past, but he wanted to move for ambitious reasons, right? The truth of the matter is, mate, while he was at West Ham, apart from that last maybe year, he was continuously, at least a couple of times, signed very, very good contracts. He was a pain in the arse to sign contracts, remember. A couple of times he was going to leave and somehow we just kept forcing him to stay, right? Ambitious he is, and Arsenal fans will find out anyway. Arsenal don't win nothing next 2 years. He's fucking going to do the same to you, what he done to us, right? And he ain't one doing us any fucking favour, mate. Rice has got no bonding with West Ham at all. I tell you that now. And whether you like it or not, good lad, nice family, la la la, good luck to him. He ain't going to come back to West Ham a lot, mate. You've seen it right now, mate. If he was West Ham, something West Ham about him, he would not have signed for Arsenal. I tell you that right now. He could have gone to Man City. Pep were after him, but Arteta's brainwashed him, right? Like I've done him properly, like a kipper, right? I don't care. That's my views on it. If you're fucking West Ham, like Harry Redknapp ain't fucking West Ham. Scott Parker ain't fucking West Ham. If you're West Ham, you don't fucking go Tottenham. Like Canute and Defoe and all those cunts. You don't do that. I don't give a fuck. There's plenty of work out there. Plenty of clubs out there, right? You don't do that, right? And for me, pure business, pure career, that's fine, Mr. Rice. I just say good luck. I don't fucking think about you. And that reminds me, on the channel, I need to get rid of him lifting up the trophy and put Bowen's picture on there, right? Bowen is someone I bond with. Even if Bowen goes tomorrow, I'll always love him and I'll back him. There's something about people. I can't explain it. Right? I don't get it with Rice, warmth. I get it with Bowen. I'm not just saying because Bowen is here. He's just got that vibe about him. He's kind of one of us and he's really cherishes the club. I don't know if that's a bit of Danny Dyer giving him some of that advice, but it is, right? So Rice ain't done no one favours, mate. He got continually pay rises, right? Apart from the last one, for sure he said no. We were going to give him a long-term contract. Of course there's going to be a clause in there he could have gone, but Arteta had tapped him up by then anyway, right? So no, he didn't do us a favour by not staying. He got more and more money all the way. Every year he got a pay rise, and he got even a bigger one at Arsenal, mate. And the other thing people forget is that he forced a move because his dad was the agent, and I believe there's some law or legislation that wasn't going to enable his father to become the agent next summer. So for his dad to make a couple of million in the bank as his agent, Rice had to move this summer. That's what I believe is the truth. So that's another fucking bullshit from him. And then again, they're talking about sort of Gareth Southgate is a great manager for fucking England and he could get the Man United job. Give me a fucking break, mate. Southgate is fucking championship, lower mid-table as best. He couldn't fucking motivate anyone. Is he a nice guy? Of course he is. Is he a yes man? Of fucking course he is. That's what FA love. That's why people like Harry Redknapp, Brian Clough couldn't get any jobs. If Brian Clough was a manager, Glenn Hoddle stayed longer. And Harry, I don't fucking like him, but I know he would have done something with England, right? This is again another generation of great players, and we fucking got to win something. But what Southgate does, we got to the Europa finals, Euro finals. Every game is at home at Wembley, no travelling involved. Got the best squad in Europe for 2 years. We played the oldest team in Europe. He sticks 7 people fucking behind the ball. 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, 3 fucking CDMs, and Italy win, right? I don't regard that as a success, I'm sorry. Because we are miles ahead of everyone. Spain, Germany, Italy. We're fucking miles ahead of all of them. Right? I don't understand it, right? Belgium's golden age is gone now. There should be no excuses for fucking England to win these Euros, and certainly fucking play in a better manner and more attacking, and he should have his set final 11 by now, really. So that's kind of Southgate. Now on to Big Sam. Again, saying I respected what he did, but he kind of fizzled out like David Moyes. It's the playing staff. And again, like Stuart Pearce said, and Sam, they go the academy. Stuart Pearce goes, I saw the sign, the academy. Taking the piss, he goes, yeah, the signs used to be there at the ground. He goes, I've never seen it. He goes, I don't know what they're on about. It must be something in the 1970s with a rose-tinted glasses. Absolutely ripped, fucking took the piss, mate. And Sam's chuckling away across the table like, are we fucking stupid? Academy football, we don't know what this is. Bobby Moore, Martin Peters, Jeffers, Trevor Brooking, all these people coming through. Are we done with something? I don't understand it, right? Academy football is about the kind of youngsters we used to bring into the team, and yeah, 3 of them in the World Cup winning squad, and also how we used to play the Ron Greenwood, copying the Hungarian 1950s, one-touch football, near-touch corners, all the things John Lyle and Ron Greenwood did, people copied 20 years later. Do you know what I mean? So absolutely taking the piss, and then thinking, where's West Ham? Oh yeah, they're 7th. Oh, that's great. They haven't been relegated in 10 years, so all the West Ham fans should do a fucking street party. This is what they think of us. Thank you, we're 7th. Thank you, Lord. We haven't been relegated 10 years. Thank you, Lord. What the fuck? Absolute bullshit. And then the biggest thing coming out of here was, we all know what happened to Sam Allardyce, right? He cupped his Hull game. I was there. We won 1-0. It was an awful game to watch. Steve Bruce was Hull manager, and I think the board had decided that we're not going to keep him because the fans have fallen out with Big Sam. And then Sam goes, I got fed up. There's no contract negotiations. And then he goes, I decided I didn't want to stay now anyway. I didn't even want to talk about it if they do. So West Ham, obviously, if they wanted him, they would have spoken to him in December, January. They would have spoken to him. They obviously didn't, and they're too lazy to sack him anyway. So they just let the season filter, which they're kind of doing now, right? But Big Sam goes, it's my decision, and I was very brave. And walked away from a great club and great position. Who else would do that? So it's my decision at the end of the day. And there's a few rats in the media that had let the news out that they weren't going to offer. So absolute bullshit, mate. Sam, these are the same lies that got how you lost the England job, my man. You're like Harry Redknapp. You're full of fucking lies. You're full of fucking shit. And I know you... And these people have got... He is called Hippo Head for no reason. And Moyes has got even a bigger fucking head than him. These are 2 stuck-up, stubborn fucking individuals that don't understand it. And that goes back to... I know sometimes when we were really, really in the shit, we kind of needed Sam back then. And I'm not going to blame the board too much. We needed these characters to come in and do. But we should have got rid of them after 2 years. Because then after that, it just gets painful. Because then we're more stable, we've got more money, we're attracting more skillful players, then we should stop fucking defending and doing bullshit like that. Last week at Bayer Leverkusen, there's no fucking excuse for that one shot on goal, one corner, when you've got Kudos in your team and people like that, Paqueta. There's no fucking excuse for that, right? And I just wanted to talk about it, and saying it was kind of his choice, which is a complete lie, Sam. It wasn't your choice. The board didn't want to offer you the contract, and you fucking said it yourself in the interview. So when you're lying, it's not easy to lie sometimes. You're going to get caught. You know, they say one thing and they contradict. Which way is it? First he goes, they didn't want to talk to me about a new contract, and I was getting fed up. And then I decided in my mind that I was going to take it anyway if they offered to. Fuck off, mate. And he's like, my decision, fuck off. Absolute fucking bullshit. And Piercy's just full of shit anyway. He fucking always sits on the fence, doesn't say anything. And just be fucking honest. I just wish there was more honesty. I get it. I get it with these people. If Moisey gets a sack, Moisey gets another fucking club somewhere, then I don't know how desperate they are for gaining more money. They might want to jump on the coaching team again. I fucking don't know, mate. But the honest truth, as far as I'm concerned, is that Stuart Pearce doesn't get West Ham. And the honest truth about him is that he left because he didn't want to work with Moyes. Because Stuart Pearce has been a manager, and once you've been a manager, it's hard to be a coach. And if your views are not kind of being listened to, because they're not, because Moyes has never changed anything with all these coaches. He's played the same formation, same way of playing, same in-game management. All fucking nothing's changed. All these coaches, Nevin, Irvine, they've had no input at all. They did have an input at the beginning in lockdown when we did really, really well. That set David Moyes up, which was a lot of Irvine playing on the front foot, playing on the counter-attack. Couple of different formations with 3 centre-backs, with Cresley, one of them, that did really well with wing-backs. But then, as soon as Irvine and them guys were gone, then he was back to fucking 4-2-3-1, and has never had any brains to do anything else. So that's the truth from Pierce. Truth from Sam is, he done well at the beginning, doesn't get the club either, and they weren't going to offer him a contract because it's the same thing what's happened to Moyes. After 2-3 years, the football's dour. They get more stubborn because they've kept you up. They think you did a dog's bollocks. How dare you ask for any more? Please can I have some more? Fuck off, Oliver. That kind of shit, really. So I just wanted to get that show out there. But what we'll do now is we'll hopefully go back to my daily shows tomorrow, because I'm really, really busy in my day job. That's why I don't quite do enough for regular shows as some of the other channels or things like that, really. So I hope to bring the daily news update back more frequently, and then we'll jump on live after tomorrow night's game. I'm probably not going to go. I got a ticket, but it's got so bad for me, everyone. I don't want to go tomorrow. I didn't even watch the second half of the Fulham game, as you know. Fucking let's see what happens tomorrow. But we'll catch up tomorrow. You guys have a great, great evening. Hope the Gooners get fucking stuffed, and that make me a little bit happy. Take care, everyone. God bless you. Subscribe, share, and subscribe to West Ham Minds channel. Good luck.